In the name of Zeus, the guest god, we greet you and welcome you to the Pitt-Greensburg Theatre Company's production of Hippolytus by Euripides. Due to illness, the role of Coryphaeus will be played by Emily Ann Stark. With this production, we conjure the world of ancient Greece. And so, to help with this conjuration, please take this time to turn off all cell phones and other electronic devices. Please do not text during the show, or use your phone or other devices, as these can be distracting to the actors as well as to others around you. Also, please do not take flash or indeed any photographs during the show, including with your camera phone, which you should have turned off by now. Please refrain from taking video, as the bright screen of your viewfinder will also be a distraction to others' enjoyment of the show. Our play will be performed without an intermission. We invite you to stay around after the performance for a talk back with the cast, director, and members of the production staff. As the smoke rises, we invoke the spirit of Dionysus, the god of theater, who we are certain joins us in this wish, to sit back, relax, and enjoy the ancient Greek tragedy, Hippolytus by Euripides.
Nothing comes from nothing. Nothing comes from nothing. Nothing comes from nothing.
Gods will not outlast the belief or faith that humans have for them.
An anatomist will tell you that our mental processes are all electricity and chemicals.
They say these processes end at death.
A physicist will tell you that matter can be neither created nor destroyed.
But it can change its form.
A physician will give you the time of death.
A metaphysician, a practitioner of metaphysics, will tell you that even after death, the energy of the soul can still remain on the earthly plane.
When emotions or violence occur at death, the spirits of the dead cannot move to the other world. They remain tied to their place of death.
Guilt is a powerful emotion.
Miron. Blood guilt. The killing of kin, of blood relations, pollution. These are powerful actions, the result of powerful emotions.
When this lingering energy resolves into form, we may glimpse the spirits, the actors of this process, as they attempt to recreate the events leading to the guilt and to death, attempting to purge the guilt once and for all.
Proud is the name that I, the goddess Aphrodite, bear, both in heaven's courts and among all those who dwell within the limits of the sea and the bounds of the earth, everywhere that is touched by the sun god's light. I advance to honor all those who respect my powers, but bring to ruin any whose pride causes offense to me. But look, Hippolytus, that son of Theseus and the Amazon Hippolyta, alone of all the dwellers in this land of Trojan, calls me the vilest of the deities. He scorns love and will have none of marriage. But he honors Artemis, daughter of Zeus, counting her the chief of goddesses. And through the forest, attendant on his virgin queen, he clears the earth of wild beasts, enjoying the comradeship of one too high for mortal sight. It is not for this I grudge him. No. Why should I? But for his sins against me, I will this day take vengeance on Hippolytus. For long ago, I laid the groundwork for this, and so little more needs to be done now. When he came one day to witness the solemn mystic rites and be initiated into them, Phaedra, his father's noble wife, caught sight of him, and by my designs she found herself seized with wild desire. And before she came to this present realm, she built a temple to me, for love of this youth. And to win his love in days to come, she named it after him. Now, when Theseus with his wife sailed to this present shore, then began the wretched wife to pine away in silence beneath love's cruel scourge. None of her servants know what afflicts her. But this passion of hers must not remain hidden. No. I will discover the matter to Theseus, and all shall be revealed. Then the father will slay his child, my bitter foe, by curses. For the Lord Poseidon granted this gift to Theseus, to ask of the god for 3 wishes, and to never ask in vain. So, Phaedra is to die, an honored death, but still to die, for I will not let her suffering outweigh such retribution on my foes, as shall satisfy my honor. And look, there is that son of Theseus coming hither, Hippolytus, fresh from the labor of the chase. I shall go. At his back falls a train of friends with joyous cries of revelry and hymns of praise to Artemis, his goddess. For little he knows that death has opened his gates for him, and that this is his last look upon the light.
Come, friends. Sing to Artemis, daughter of Zeus, whose followers we are.
Lady goddess and queen, daughter of Zeus, all hail, hail, you dwell in heaven-wide realms in the golden house of Zeus. All hail, most beauteous Artemis, far lovelier than all the daughters of Olympus.
For you, O mistress, I bring this woven wreath, taken from a virgin meadow where no shepherd dares to herd his flock, nor scythe is ever mown, but over unshorn meadow the bee wings its way in springtime. Dear mistress, take this crown from my holy hand, for I and none other of mortals have this high reward, to be with you, to talk with you, hearing your voice yet never seeing your face. So be it my destiny to end as I began.
Hippolytus, of course we must call upon the gods, our lords. But will you listen to a friendly word from me?
Why, yes. Otherwise I'd be proved a fool.
Do you believe there is a charm in courtesy?
The greatest, surely.
Do you believe that the same law holds in heaven as well?
I say it does, since we men draw a law from heaven.
Why then do you neglect to greet a revered goddess?
To whom do you speak of? Keep watch upon your tongue unless it causes some mischief.
I mean Aphrodite, whose image is stationed over your gate.
I greet her from afar, still preserving my chastity.
And yet, she is an honored goddess, far renowned on earth.
We have our preferences among the gods, as well as men.
I wish you luck then, and wisdom too, as far as you need it.
No god whose worship craves the night has charge for me.
My friend, we should accept the gifts that the gods confer upon us.
Go in, my faithful friends, and prepare food within the house. Rub down my steeds too, so when I have had my fill, I may yoke them to the chariot and give them proper exercise. As for your queen of love, a long farewell to her.
With sober mind, I must not copy my friend. Instead, I do offer up my prayer to your image, Lady Aphrodite, with words that suits your servant to use. But you should pardon all who, in youth's impetuous heat, speak idle words of you. Pretend as though you do not hear, for gods must be wiser than the sons of men.
At the washing rock, I spoke to a friend washing robes of purple in the trickling streams, and she was laying them out on the face of the warm sunny rock. From her I had the tidings, first of all, that my beloved mistress was wasting away on a bed of sickness, locked within her house, a veil overshadowing her luxurious head of hair. And this is the third day I hear that she has closed her lovely lips and denied herself all sustenance, eager to hide her suffering and reach death's cheerless realm.
Maybe she is made frantic by Pan or by Hecate, or does some rival in her house beguile her lord to secret affairs hid from her? Or has some mariner sailing here from Crete brought some evil tidings for our queen, and she's confined to her bed with sorrow for her grievous fate?
Often over woman's wayward nature settles a feeling of miserable helplessness, arising from pains of childbirth or of passionate desire. At times, I too have felt this sharp thrill shoot through me, but I would cry to Artemis, queen of archery, who has come from heaven to aid us in our sorrows. And thanks to heaven's grace, she always calls at my call with welcome help. Look, the nurse is bringing her from her house, while on her brow a cloud of gloom is deepening. My soul longs to learn what is her grief, what wound that is wasting her queen's fading charm.
Oh, the ills of mortal men, the cruel diseases they endure. What can I do for you? Here's the bright sunlight, the azure sky. I have brought you on your bed of sickness outside the palace. For all your talk of coming here, you'll soon hurry back. Human life is full of anguish. We find no respite in our woes, but if there's anything to love beyond this life, night's dark shroud wraps it round, and we show our mad love of this life because its light is shed on earth, and because we know no other.
Oh, lift my body. Raise my head. My limbs are all unstrung. This veil on my head is too heavy for me to wear. Away with it. Let it fall over my shoulder.
Be good of heart, dear child. Don't toss so wildly. Lie still. Be brave so that you'll find your illness easier to bear. Suffering for mortals is nature's iron law.
I wish I could draw a draught of pure water from some dew-fed spring. Oh, and lay me down to rest in the grassy meadow beneath the poplar shade.
My child, what wild speech is this? Oh, say not such things in public. Wild, whirling words bred of frenzy.
Oh, take me away to the mountain, to the wood, where hounds pursue the prey, hard on the scent of dabbled fawns.
My child, why? Why these anxious cares? What have you to do with the chase? Why so eager for the flowing spring when hard by these towers stands a hill well watered, where you may freely drink?
Oh, Artemis, I wish I were upon your plains racing Venetian steeds.
Why? Why betray your frenzy in these wild, whirling words? We need a cunning seer to say what god it is that reins you from the course, distracting your senses.
Oh, me. Alas, what have I done? Where have I strayed? My senses leaving. Mad! Mad! Stricken by some demon curse! was me. Cover my head again, nurse. Shame fills me for the words I have spoken. Hide me then. Teardrops stream from my eyes, and for very shame I turn them away. It is painful coming to one's senses again. And madness, evil though it is, has this advantage, that one has no knowledge of reason's overthrow.
There, then. I cover you.
Oh, faithful nurse of Phaedra, we see our queen's sorry plight. But what ails her we cannot discern. So we wish to hear your opinion.
I question her, but I am no wiser, for she is silent on every point.
How weak she seems.
It's not surprising. She says she has not tasted food in 3 days. She courts death. Such fasting aims at ending her life.
A strange story. If it is for her husband to believe. Can we not guess it from her face?
He is not now in the country.
But do you not insist in your own endeavor to find out her mind?
I've tried every plan, and all in vain. But even now I will not relax my zeal, so that you too, if you stay, will witness my devotion to my unhappy mistress. If you are sick with ills you cannot name, there are women here who can help set you right. But if your troubles can be divulged to men's ears, then speak, so that physicians may diagnose it. Come now, why so silent? You should not remain so, my child. But scold me if I speak amiss, or yield assent if I give good advice. One word, one look this way. Friends, we are as far away as ever. She would not relent to my arguments before, nor is she yielding now. Well, grow more stubborn than the sea. Yet be assured of this, that if you die, you are a traitress to your children, for they will never inherit their father's halls. Nay, by that knightly queen, the Amazon, who bore a son to lord it over yours, a bastard born, but not a bastard bred, whom well you know. Even Hippolytus.
Does that touch her?
You have undone me, nurse. I command you, by the gods, mention that man. No more.
There now, you're yourself again, and yet refuse to aid your children and preserve your life.
I love my children, but there is another storm that buffets me.
Daughter, are your hands free from bloodshed?
My hands are pure, but on my soul there rests a stain.
The issue of some enemy secret witchery.
A friend is my destroyer, one unwilling as myself.
Has Theseus wronged you in any way?
Never may I prove untrue to him!
Then what strange mystery is there that drives you on to die?
How now? You hold my hand too tightly.
Yes, and I will never loosen my hold.
Alas for you! My sorrows, should you learn them, would recoil on you. It is out of shame that I am planning an honorable escape.
Share it, and your honor shall shine the brighter.
Away, I conjure you, loose my hand!
I will not, since you have denied the knowledge you should have granted me.
I will grant it out of reverence for your holy, suppliant touch. Would you could say for me what it is I have to tell? What is it they mean when they talk of people being in love?
At once, the sweetest and the bitterest thing, my child.
I shall only find the latter half.
My child, are you in love?
The Amazon's son, whoever he may be.
Do you mean Hippolytus?
It was you! Not I who spoke his name!
Oh heavens, what is this, my child? You have ruined me. Outrageous! Friends, I will not live and bear it. Hateful is life. Hateful to my eyes the light. Farewell. My life is over. For it seems Aphrodite is not goddess after all. It's something far greater. For she has been the ruin of my lady and this whole house.
too clearly did you hear our queen speak, to tell her startling tale of piteous suffering.
Oh, come, death, before I reach your state of feeling, loved mistress. Oh, horrible! Woe for these miseries! Woe for the sorrows on which mortals feed! You are undone. You have disclosed your sin to heaven's light. What has each passing day and every hour in store for you?
Some strange event will come to pass in this house, for it is no longer uncertain where the sun of your love is setting.
Often before now, in heedless mood, through the long hours of the night, I have wondered why human life is spoiled. And it seems to me their evil case is not due to any natural fault, for there are many blessed with sense. But we must view the matter in this light. By teaching and experience, many learn the right, but neglected in practice. Some from sloth, others from preferring pleasure of some kind or other to duty. But when love wounded me, I thought how I might best bear the sting. So from that day forth I began to hide in silence what I suffered. I put no faith in counselors, who know well to lecture others for presumption, yet themselves have countless troubles of their own. Next, I devised noble endurance of these wanton thoughts, striving for victory by abstinence. And at last, when I could not succeed in mastering love, I thought it best to die. And none can contradict my purpose. I want my virtue to appear to all, and my shame have few to witness it. This it is that calls on me to die, kind friends, so that I may never have been found to have disgraced my husband or the children I have borne. No. May they grow up and dwell in glorious Athens, free to speak and act, heirs to such fair fame as a mother can bequeath. For to no father or mother has sin turns the most determined heart to mindlessness. That time unmasks the villain sooner or later. Among such may I never be seen.
Now look, how fair is chastity everywhere viewed, whose fruit is of good reputation among men.
My queen, it is true your tale of woe did for the moment strike me with wild alarm. But second thoughts are often best, even with men. Your fate is not uncommon, nor past one's calculations. You are stricken by the passions Aphrodite sends. You are in love. What wonder? Will you, because you love, destroy yourself? It is little gain, I think, for those who love, if death must be their end. For though the love queen's onset is more than one can bear, yet she gently visits yielding hearts, and only when she finds a proud, unnatural spirit does she take it and mock it past belief. Will you refuse to yield? How many men of sterling sense, when they see their wives unfaithful, make it as though they saw it not? How many fathers, when they see their sons have gone astray, assist them in their affairs? It is part of human wisdom to conceal the deed of shame. Nor should man aim too great at refinement, for he cannot with exactness even finish a roof that covers a house. And how do you think to escape after falling into so deep a pit? Nay, if you have more of good than bad, you will fare exceedingly well. Oh, cease, my child, from evil thoughts. Let wanton pride be gone, for this is nothing else. This wish to rival gods in perfection. Sick you are, yet turn your sickness to some happy issue. Face your love. It is heaven's will you should. Surely there are some charms and spells to cure you of your sickness.
Although she gives you wiser counsel at your present need, Phaedra, yet do I praise you. Still, my praise may sound more harsh and jar more cruelly to your ear than her advice.
It is even this, too plausible a tongue that overthrows good governments in the homes of men. We should not speak to please the ear, but to point to the path that leads to noble fame.
What solemn speech is this? You don't need rounded phrases, you need a man. Straight away must be moved to tell him how it is with you. Had your life not come to such a crisis, or were you endowed with self-control, I would have never urged you onto this course to gratify your passions. But as it is, it's a fierce struggle to save your life, and therefore less to blame.
A cursed proposal! Peace, woman, never utter those shameful words again!
Shameful, maybe, but for you better than honor's code. Better this if it will save your life than your pride which will kill you to retain your name.
I conjure you go no further, for your words are plausible but infamous. For though, as yet love has not undermined my soul, yet if you continue to dress your foul words in false suggestions, I shall be lured into the trap from which I am now escaping.
If you are of this mind, it were well you had never sinned. But as it is, hear me, for that is the next best course. At my house I have charms and spells to cure you of your love, on no disgraceful terms, if you will be brave. But from him you love, we must get some token or fragment of his robe.
Is your drug a salve or potion?
I cannot tell. Be content to profit by it and ask no questions.
I fear you will prove too wise for me.
If you fear this, confess yourself afraid of all. But why your terror?
If you should breathe a word of this to Theseus' son,
Peace, my child. Only be you, Queen Aphrodite, my partner in the works. And for the rest of my purpose, it'll be enough for me to tell it to our friends within the house.
Oh, love. Love that from the eyes that diffuses soft desire, bringing on the souls of those whom you do camp against, sweet grace. Oh, never appear to me in an evil mood, nor approach out of time and tune.
There was that maiden in Ocalia, a girl unwed, who knew no wooer nor married joys. The queen of love snatched her from her home across the sea, and gave unto Alcmena's son, amid blood and smoke and murderous marriage hymns, to be to him a frantic fiend of hell. Oh, woe for his wooing.
All things she does inspire, dread goddess, winging her flight here and there like a bee.
peace! Oh, women, peace! I am undone.
What Phaedra is that dread event within your house?
Hush! Let me hear what those within the house are saying.
I am silent. This is surely a prelude to evil.
Great gods, how awful are my sufferings!
Thou wretch!
What a cry was there! Say what sudden terror dismays your soul.
I am undone. Stand here and hear the noise arising within the house.
You are already by the bolted door. It is for you to note the sounds that issue from within, and tell me what evil can be on foot.
Go between!
Oh, it is Hippolytus, the son of the horse-loving Amazon, uttering foul curses on my servant.
I hear a noise but cannot clearly tell from which way it comes.
Traitress!
It is through the door that the sound reached you.
Yes, he is calling her plainly enough. A go-between in vice, a traitress to her master's honor.
Oh, woe is me, dear mistress. You were betrayed. What counsel shall I give you?
Me?
Betrayed by friends.
She has ruined me by speaking of my misfortune. It was kindly meant, but an ill way to cure my malady.
Oh, what now will you do in your cruel dilemma?
I only know one way. One cure for my woes. And that is instant death.
O Mother Earth! O sons of cloud and orb! What words unfit for any lips have reached my ears?
Peace, lest someone hear your outcry.
I cannot hear such awful words and hold my peace.
I do implore you by your fair right hand.
Let go of my robe.
Oh, by your knees I pray. Destroy me not utterly.
Why say this if, as you pretend, your lips are free from blame?
This is no story to be noised abroad.
Ah, virtuous tale grows fair when told to many.
What will you do? Destroy your friends?
Friends indeed! The wicked are no friends of mine.
Oh, pardon me. To err is only human, my child.
Great Zeus, why did you to man's sorrow place woman, evil counterfeit, to dwell where the sun shines? If you wish that the human race should multiply, it is not from women you should have drawn their stock, but in your temples they should have paid gold or iron or bronze and bought a family. each man proportioned to his own offering, and so in independence dwelt, free from women. But now, as soon as we would bring this plague into our house, we bring its fortune into the ground. It is clear from this how great a curse a woman is. I hate a clever woman. Never may she set foot in my house who aims at knowing more than women need. For in these clever women, Aphrodite implants a larger store of villainy. Even thus, vile wretch, you came to make me partner in an outrage on my father's honor, where I have to wash that stain away in running streams, dashing the water into my ears. How can I commit so foul a crime, when by the very mention of it I find myself polluted? Well, be well assured, woman, it is only my religious beliefs that save you. For had I not been caught unawares by an oath, before heaven I would not have refrained from telling all unto my father. But now, I shall go from this house, so long as Theseus is abroad, and maintain strict silence. But when my father comes, I shall return and see how you and your mistress face him, and so shall I learn by experience the extent of your audacity. Damnation seize you both! I can never satisfy my hatred for women, no, not even though some say it is ever my theme. For of a truth, they are always evil. So either let someone prove them chaste, or let me still trample on them forever.
Oh, the cruel, unhappy fate of women. What arguments have we, once we have made a slip, to loose by craft the tight-drawn knot?
I've met my destiny. Oh, earth. Oh, light of day. How can I escape the stroke of fate? What god will appear to help me? What mortal to take my part and help me in unrighteousness? The present calamity of my life admits no escape.
Alas, the deed is done. Your servant's schemes have gone awry, my queen, and all is lost.
Accursed woman! Traitress to your friends! How have you ruined me? May Zeus, my ancestor, smite you with his fiery bolt and uproot you from your very place! Did I not foresee your purpose? Did I not bid you keep silence over the very matter which is now my shame? But you would not be still. Therefore my fair name will not go with me to the tomb. But now, I must devise another scheme. This youth, in the keenness of his fury, will tell his father what I have done, and fill the world with stories to my shame. Damnation seize you, and every hiring fool who serves dishonest friends by unwilling means!
Mistress, you may condemn the mischief I've done, for sorrow's stain clouds your judgment. Yet I can answer you, if you will hear. In my search for medicine to cure you of your illness, I found what least I sought. Had I been but successful, I would have been counted wise, for the credit we get for our wisdom is measured by our success.
Is it any satisfaction to me that you should wound me first, then play at words with me?
We dwell on this too long. It was not wise, I agree. But there are yet ways to escape from the trouble.
Be silent from now on. Evil was your first advice to me. Evil too your attempted scheme. Begone and leave me. Look after yourself. I will arrange my own fortunes for the best. O noble daughters of this country, grant me the only boon I crave. In silence bury what you here have heard.
By majestic Artemis, child of Zeus, I swear I will never divulge anything of your sorrows.
It is well. But I with all my thought can discover only one way out of this calamity, so that I may preserve my children's honor, and find myself some help as matters stand. For never, never will I bring shame to my home, nor will I, to save one poor life, face Theseus after my disgrace.
Are you bent then on some cureless woe?
On death, the means of which I must devise myself.
Hush.
You do at least advise me well. But for this day I shall gladden Aphrodite, my destroyer, by yielding up my life and admit myself vanquished by cruel love. Yet, shall my dying be another's curse? He may not exalt at my misfortunes, but when he comes to share the self-same plague with me, he too will take a lesson in wisdom.
Oh, to be beneath some pathless cavern, there by God's creating hand, to grow into a bird amid the winged tribes. Away would I soar to a wave-beaten shore, and add to it the amber brilliance of my tears.
For me, I would come to the apple-bearing strand of those minstrels in the west, where water from ambrosial founts wells up, and holy earth, the bounteous mother, causes joy to spring in heavenly breasts.
A white-winged ship that over a booming ocean waits did bring my royal mistress from her happy home, to crown her queen of sorrow's brides. Surely evil was a part of that ship.
Why is it that her heart is crushed, cruelly afflicted with unholy love by Aphrodite, so that she, overwhelmed by bitter grief, will tie a noose within her bridal bower, to fit it to her fair white neck, too modest for this hateful lot in life, striving thus to rid herself of passion's sting?
Help, help! All who are near the palace, she has hung herself! Our queen, the wife of Theseus.
Woe! The deed is done! Our royal mistress is no more! Dead she hangs in the dangling noose!
Hurry, someone bring a knife to cut the knot about her neck!
Lay out the hapless corpse, straighten the limbs. This was a bitter way to sit at home and keep my master's house.
Woman, can you tell me what the uproar in the palace means? The sound of bitter weeping came to my ear. None of my household comes to open wide the gates and give me glad welcome as a traveler from prophetic shrines. Has anything befallen my grandfather Pythias? Though he is well advanced in years, yet I should mourn were he to quit this house.
It is not against the old Theseus that aim face this blow to strike you. Prepare your sorrows for a younger corpse.
Does death rob me of a child's life?
They live, but cruelest news of all for you, their mother is no more.
What? My wife dead? By what cruel stroke of chance?
About her neck she tied the hangman's knot.
Had grief so chilled her blood? Or what had befallen her?
I only know this just now because I arrived at your palace to mourn your sorrows, Theseus.
Woe is me. Unbolt the doors, loose their fastens, that I may see the piteous sight. My wife, whose death is death to me. Woe to you for your piteous lot, for you've done yourself a hurt deep enough to overthrow this family, the daring of it done to death by violence and unnatural means, the desperate effort of your own poor hand. You cast a shadow over your life, poor lady. Oh, fortune, how heavily you have set your foot on me and on my house, inflicting an unexpected stain by fiendish hands. Alas, so wide an ocean of grief that I can never swim to shore again, nor breast the tide of this calamity. How shall I speak of you, my wife? What tale shall I tell of your direst sufferings? This must be a judgment sent by the gods for the sins of an ancestor, which I bring on myself from some far source.
Sir, it is not to you alone that this sorrow comes. You have lost a noble wife, but so have many others.
I would go hide beneath earth's blackest depth, to dwell in darkness and misery with the dead, now that I am deprived of your dear presence. For you have slain me, even more than you have slain yourself. Who can tell me what caused the fatal stroke that reached your heart, dear wife? Will no one tell me what befell? Woe to you, my wife. Sorrows past speech, past bearing, I behold within my house, myself a ruined man, my children orphans.
You have gone and left us, the fondest wife, and noblest of all women beneath the sun's bright eye, our night's starlit radiance.
Poor house, what sorrow are your portion now? My eyes are wet with streams of tears to see your fate. But the ill that is to follow fills me with terror.
What means this letter, clasped in her dear hand? Has some strange tale to tell. Has she, poor lady, at last request, written her desires as to my marriage and her children? Take heart, poor ghost. No wife henceforth shall wed your Theseus or invade this house. This ring affects my sight. I will unfold the sealed packet and read her letter's message to me.
Woe unto us! Here is yet another evil sent by heaven.
Looking to what has happened, I should count my lot in life no longer worthwhile to gain. My master's house, alas, is ruined, brought to nothing.
Spared, O heaven, if it may be, hearken to my prayer, for I see as with prophetic eye an omen boding ill.
Oh, horror! Woe on woe, and still they come! Too deep for words, too heavy to bear.
What is it? Speak, if I may share in it.
This letter loudly tells a hideous tale. Where can I escape my share of woe? For I am ruined and undone. So awful are the words I find written here. Clear as if she cried them to me. Woe's me.
Alas, your words declare themselves the harbingers of woe.
I can no longer keep the cursed tale locked behind the gates of my lips, cruel though its utterance be. Hippolytus has dared by brutal force to violate my honor and rape my wife, thinking not of Zeus, whose awful eye watches over all. Oh, Father Poseidon, you once promised to fulfill 3 prayers of mine. Answer one of them now and slay my son. Let him not escape this single day if the prayers you gave me were truly promised.
O king, I conjure you, call back that prayer. Hereafter you will know your error. Hear me, I pray you.
It cannot be. Moreover, I will banish him from this land, and by one of 2 fates will he be struck down. Either Poseidon, out of respect to my prayer, will cast his dead body into the house of Hades, or he shall drag out a life of misery, exiled from this land, a wanderer to some foreign shore.
Look, your son Hippolytus comes. In good time. Dismiss your rage, King Theseus, and think what is best for your home.
I heard your voice, Father, and wanted to see you. Yet, I don't know the cause of your present sorrow, but I wish to learn it of you. What is this? Your wife is dead? It is strange. It was just now that I left her. A moment since she looked upon the light. How did this happen? What was the manner of her death? This I would learn of you, Father. Are you struck silent? It is not right to hide misfortunes from those who love, yes, more than love you.
You sons of men, victim of 1,000 idle errors, why scheme and seek to find a way for everything, yet never attempt to teach wisdom to those whose souls are void of sense.
The man who could force fools to be wise would be a master in his craft. Yet these ill-timed subtleties of yours, Father, make me fear your tongue is running wild.
My curse upon you! Man shall have some certain test to try his friends, some touchstone of their hearts, to know whether he is true or false.
Has someone been slandering me, and I, though guiltless, accused? I am amazed, for your random frantic words fill me with wild alarm.
Behold, this man, he, my own son, has outraged my honor. His guilt most clearly proven by my dead wife. Now, since you have dared this crime, come, look your father in the face. Are you the man who consorts with gods as one above the vulgar herd? Are you the chaste and sinless saint? I say, let all beware of such hypocrites. They hunt their prey with fine words, but all the while are scheming villainy. She is dead. Do you think this will save you? Why, this convicts you more than all, abandoned wretch. What oaths, what pleas can outweigh this letter so that you should escape your doom? But before me lies the corpse. Clearest witness. Be gone at once, an exile from this land, and never set foot again in God-built Athens, nor in the confines of my domain.
I don't know how to call happy any child of man. What was happiness is now unhappiness.
Father, I have little skill for speaking to a crowd, and a readier wit for comrades of my own age in small groups. And this is as it should be, for they whom the wise despise are better qualified to speak before a mob. Yet I am forced, under the present circumstances, to break silence. The very crime that you think you catch me in is just the one that I'm untainted with, for to this day I have remained pure from all women. I know that my claim to chastity may not convince you, but then it is for you to prove in just the way that I was corrupted. Did this woman exceed in beauty above all her sex? Did I aspire to fill the husband's place after you and succeed your house? That surely would have made me a fool, a creature devoid of sense. Had I a witness to attest my purity, and were I pitted against her still alive, facts would show you on inquiry who the culprit was. Now by Zeus, god of the oaths, and by the earth whereon we stand, I swear to you I never did lay hand upon your wife, nor would I have wished to or have harbored such a thought. Slay me, ye gods, rob me of name and honor, cast me forth from home and city, a wandering exile over the earth. May neither sea nor land accept my bones when I am dead if I am such a criminal. I cannot say whether she destroyed herself through fear, for more than as I am forbid. Discretion took the place of chastity with her, while I, though chaste, was not discreet in using this virtue.
Your oath, by heaven, sufficiently refutes the charge.
The fellow must be a wizard or a magician to think he can first defy me, his father, and by such coolness to master my resolve.
Your pardon, this fills me with amazement. Were you my son and I your father before heaven, I would have slain you! Not let you off with banishment if you presume to violate my honor.
A just remark, that you shall not die by the sentence your own lips pronounce upon yourself. For death, which comes in a moment, is an easy end for wretchedness. No, you shall be exiled from this earth, and drag out a life of misery on a foreign shore, for such are the wages of sin.
And what will you do? Banish me, without so much as waiting for time's evidence on my case?
Yes, beyond the sea, beyond the bounds of the earth, if I could. So deeply do I hate you.
Banish me untried, without testing my oath or the voice of seers?
This letter here, though it bears no seer sign, prosecutes your oath.
Great gods, why do I not unlock my lips, seeing that I am ruined by you, the objects of my reverence? No, I will not. I will not persuade those whom I ought to, and in vain break the oath I swore.
My curse upon you! That solemn air of yours is more than I can bear. Be gone at once!
And where will I go? Whose friendly house will take me in and exile on so grave a charge?
Seek one who loves to entertain corrupters of men's wives as guests and partners in his crimes.
This wounds my heart, and brings me near to tears to think that I should appear so vile, and you to believe me so.
Your tears and forethought had been more in season when you did presume to outrage your father's wife.
O house, I wish you could speak and witness if I have been such a criminal.
You call it speechless witness. This deed, though it does not speak, clearly proves your guilt.
Unhappy mother, son of sorrow, Heaven keep all friends of mine from bastard birth.
Drag him away! You heard my proclamation condemning him to exile.
Whoever lays a hand on me shall regret it. Expel me from the land yourself, Father, if your spirit moves you.
I will, unless you immediately obey my command. No pity for your exile steals into my heart.
The sentence is past. Oh, misery. How well I know the truth, yet know no way to tell it. Oh, Artemis, dearest to me of all deities, comrade in the chase. Far from glorious in Athens, I must fly. Farewell, my most joyous home. It is my last sight of you. Farewell. Escort me forth, friends. For never we behold a more pure soul of all my father's doubts.
The thoughts I have about the gods, when they come into my mind, do much to soothe its grief. But though I cherish secret hopes of some great guiding will, yet am I at fault when I survey the fate and doings of the sons of men. Human life veers and shifts in endless restlessness.
Fortune grant me this, I pray, at heaven's hand. A happy lot in life, and a soul free from sorrow. Let me not hold opinions too precise, nor yet too hollow, but lightly changing my habits for each tomorrow, as it comes, may I thus attain a life of bliss.
For now, no more is my mind free from doubt. Unlooked foresights greet my vision. Mourn, you sands of native shores, you oak groves on the hill! But he would hunt, the quarry to death with his hounds.
No more will he mount his trained horses, nor evermore in his father's house will he wake the muse that never slept beneath its lute strings, nor evermore will our virgins vie to win his love. Now he is banished.
While I with tears at your unhappy fate, I am angered with the gods. Why are you sending this poor youth, guiltless sufferer, from his home, far from his native land?
But look, I see friends of Hippolytus hurrying, with troubled looks towards the palace.
Ladies, where may I find Theseus, please? Tell me if you know. Is he within the palace here? Theseus, we are the bearers of troublesome news. To you and to all who dwell in Athens or the bounds of this country.
Has some strange calamity overtaken this land?
One brief word. Hippolytus is dead.
Yet one slender thread still links him to the light of life.
Who slew him? Did some husband come to blows with him? One whose wife, like mine, had suffered brutal violence?
He perished through those thieves that took his chariot, through the curses you uttered, praying to Poseidon, the ocean king, to slay your son.
King Poseidon, you have listened to my prayers. Say how he perished. How fell the uplifted hand of justice to smite the villain who dishonored me?
Hippolytus came to the wave-beaten shore, saying, "My father's commands must be obeyed. Harness my horses to the chariot. This is no longer a city of mine." Before a man could say it, it was done. We had the horses standing ready at our friend's side. Then he caught up the reins from the chariot rail, first fitting his feet exactly in the hollows made for them.
But first, with outspread palms he called upon the gods. Zeus, strike me dead if I have sinned, and let my father learn how he is wronging me, in death at least, if not in life. We set off, keeping up with him along the road that leads direct to Argos and Epidaurus. Just as we were coming to a deserted spot, we heard a deep, rumbling sound, like an earthquake. The horses reared their heads. We were filled with a wild alarm to know where the sound came from.
As we gazed towards the shore, we saw a tremendous wave towering to the skies. Then, swelling and frothing to a crest of foam, the sea discharged it to the beach, where the harnessed chariot stood. And in the moment that the mighty wall of waters broke, there issued from the wave a monstrous bull, whose bellowing filled the land with fearsome echoes.
A panic seized the horses there and then. Then there was dire confusion as Hippolytus was thrown from the reins. The horses gnashed the forest bits between their teeth and bore him wildly on.
When he tried to steer for softer ground, the bull stood in front of him to turn him back again, maddening his horses with terror, until,
dashing the wheel against a stone, he wrecked the chariot. Then there was dire confusion as Hippolytus, entangled in the reins, was dragged along, bound by a stubborn knot.
his poor head dashed against the rocks, his flesh all torn, while he cried out piteously, "Stay, stay my horses whom my own hand has fed. Destroy me not utterly, O luckless curse of a father. Will no one come and save me for all my virtue?"
Though we wanted to help, we were left far behind. At last, I know not how, he escaped from the reins that bound him. A faint breath of life still in him. And then the horses and that portentous bull disappeared. I know not where.
Alas, new troubles come to plague us, nor is there any escape from fate and necessity.
My hatred for him who has thus suffered made me glad at your tidings. Yet, from regard for the gods and him, because he is my son, I feel neither joy nor sorrow at his sufferings.
Yet say, are we to bring the victim here, or how are we to fulfill your wishes? If you listen to me, you will not so harshly treat your son in his sad plight.
Bring him here, that when I see face to face the one who is denied having polluted my wife's honor, I may by words in heaven's visitation convict him.
Aphrodite, your hand guides the stubborn hearts of gods and men, maddening the heart and captivating the senses of all. Yours alone is the sovereign power to rule them all.
Hearken, noble son of Aegeus! It is I, Artemis, who speaks. Why, Theseus, do you rejoice at these tidings, seeing as you've most impiously slain your son, listening to a charge not clearly proved, but falsely sworn to? Why do you not for very shame hide beneath the dark places of the earth, or change your human life to soar on wings and escape this tribulation? Among men of honor you have now no share in life. Listen, Theseus, it is with this intent I came, to show you your son's pure heart, that he may die with honor, as well as the frenzy, and in a sense the nobleness of your wife, for she was cruelly stung with a passion for your son by that goddess who detests all who take joy in virgin purity. And though Phaedra strove to conquer love by resolution, yet by no fault of hers she fell, thanks to that nurse's strategy, who did reveal her malady to your son under oath. But he would listen to none of her counsels, as indeed was right, nor yet while you reviled him would he break the oath that he swore.
Woe is me!
Does my story wound you, Theseus? Be still a while and hear what follows, so you will have more cause to groan. Do you remember those 3 prayers your father granted you, charged with such power? It is one of these you have misused against your son, instead of aiming it at an enemy. And Poseidon, it is true, for all his kind intent, has granted that boon he was compelled to grant by reason of his promise. But you, in his eyes and in mine, have shown your evil heart, in that you denied all proof of prophetic voice, have made no inquiry, nor taken time for consideration, but with undue haste have cursed your son even to death.
May eternal punishment be my fate.
An awful deed was yours, but still, even for this, you may obtain pardon. For it is Aphrodite who would have it so, satisfying the fury of her soul. For this is law amongst us gods. None of us will thwart another's will, but always we stand aloof. For be assured, did I not fear Zeus, never would I have incurred the bitter shame of handing over to death the man most dear to me. On you the storm of woe is burst, yet it is some grief to me as well. For when the righteous die, there is no joy in heaven, although we try to destroy the wicked, house and home.
Look where he comes, Hippolytus! His fair young flesh and auburn locks most shamefully mangled.
Oh, unhappy house! What sorrow overtakes its halls by heaven's decree?
Oh, woe is me. Great Zeus, do you see this? I, your reverent worshiper, I, who left all men behind in purity, plunged into yawning Hades, beneath the earth, bereft of life. Set me down. Come, death, to set me free. Kill me. End my sufferings. The whole fated curse of my father.
Cruel the fate that links you to it. Your noble soul has been your ruin.
Oh, my goddess. Even in my agony, I feel you near and find relief. My goddess, Artemis here in this very place.
She is, poor sufferer, the goddess you have loved the best.
Do you see me, goddess? Do you see my present sufferings?
I see you, but my eyes may weep no tears. Yet even in death I love you still. For it was Aphrodite, mistress of the wicked, who devised this evil.
Now I know the goddess who destroyed me.
She was jealous of her slighted honor, vexed at your chaste life.
Then I see her single hand has struck down 3 of us.
Your father and you, and your father's wife.
Oh, I mourn my father's ill luck.
He was deceived by the goddess's design.
Oh, woe to you, father. It is sad mischance.
My son, life has no joys for me.
Oh, those fatal gifts your father beside me.
Yes. Heaven had perverted my power to think.
Oh, that the race of men could bring curse upon the gods.
Enough! For though you pass to bloom beyond the earth, the wrath of Aphrodite shall not fall on you unrequited, for you have a noble, righteous soul. For I, with my own hand and with these unerring arrows, will avenge me on another, who is her worshipper, dearest to her of all the sons of men. For you, poor sufferer, for your anguish now will grant high honors in this country. Forever shall the virgin choir sing of your sad memory, and never shall Phaedra's love for you fall into oblivion and pass away unnoticed. And you, Theseus, take your son in your arms and draw him close to you, for unwittingly you slew him, and men may well commit an error when gods put it in their way. And I admonish you, Hippolytus, hate not your father, for in this death you do but meet your destined fate. And now farewell. It is not for me to gaze upon the dead, nor pollute my sight with death scenes. And even now I see you near that evil.
Farewell to you, blessed Virgin Queen. I am reconciled with my father at your command, yes. I will always obey your bidding. The darkness is settling even now upon my eyes. Oh, take me, Father, into your arms. Yes, I
see the gates that close upon the dead.
Can you leave me thus with murder on my soul?
I set you free from this blood guiltiness.
What did you say? Do you absolve me from my bloodshed?
Artemis, the Archer Queen is my witness that I do.
Oh, my own dear son, how generously do you show yourself to your father?
Farewell, dear father.
Oh no, my son, endure a while.
It is finished. My endurance. I die, father. Quickly veil my face.
Oh, glorious Athens, realm of Pallas Athena, what a splendid hero you have lost. How often shall I remember your evil works, oh Aphrodite?
On all our citizens has come this unforeseen universal sorrow. Now shall the abundant tears gush forth, for sad news about great men takes more than usual hold upon the heart.
Nothing comes from nothing. Nothing comes from nothing. Nothing comes from nothing.